Ladies, gentlemen, everything in between, hello, welcome to the channel. Today, we're kind of taking it back. I don't know if y'all remember on my main channel, but we used to do like reactions to Educating Manchester, Educating Essex, Wessex, the UK, Educating Everywhere. And we would react to those, and I love those reactions, but I couldn't do them anymore because copyright kept kicking my butt. But today I found a video that's kind of going to compare even more British school versus American school. This video is US teachers versus UK teachers. How do they compare? Hours and salary comparison. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but over here, I wouldn't even say that we pay our teachers in America livable wages. Not only do you have to obviously consider like just base salary, but all the money that they have to spend also on the classrooms, buying supplies, buying whatever that they need to help and do their lessons. So not only are they already paid like not even the bare minimum, below the minimum, but they also have to expend so much just to run the classroom. So in that regard, I already know y'all probably have a speed. But yeah, we're going to see how else y'all compare. Now, from the Educating Manchester and all those series, I also did see that y'all get yelled at by your teachers. That would never happen here. Y'all get disciplined by your teachers. That would never happen here. And it's kind of just like, they would get fired if they, from the videos, if the teachers over in the UK did what they do here, they would lose their job because it's just, they're rude. And maybe we're just sensitive, I don't know, but yeah, y'all, they were extreme. But we're gonna see some more comparisons. Let's get into it. Subscribe, like, do all that. Here we go.
We may believe the experience of going to school is universal, but it varies greatly depending on which country you live in.
Yeah.
Some might say that the purpose of education is learning valuable information. Others would argue it's primarily about becoming an effective critical thinker, or that it's simply a bridge to university.
I would say it's definitely to be a critical thinker, because think about it. You can get a degree, that doesn't mean you're going to be able to get a job. You could get skill set, that doesn't mean you're going to be able to use them or, you know, whatever, be really good at those skills. But if you're a critical thinker, you'll always be able to maneuver and work through whatever problems, whatever situations. You can always think about how you're able to elevate. So I think school is more about just growing as a person and like evolving your mind. That way, whenever you get thrown out into the real world, you're able to survive it because you can just think it through. I think it's all about being a critical thinker.
As the learning experience can vary depending on culture, politics, and economics, the teaching experience also comes with its own set of unique activities. Today we're going to be looking at how teachers on different sides of the Atlantic deal with their day-to-day at school. What is similar and what is not, and who has the best roll of the dice with the perks of the teaching game. Welcome to this episode of the infographic show, US teachers versus UK teachers.
And I bet y'all get time off or paid time off or whatever. And your maternity leave is probably the full 9 months or something crazy like that.
When we started doing our research online, we first came across a topic that has been making headlines in the United Kingdom. The UK teacher recruitment crisis.
Oh.
The UK has a shortage of teachers, an issue that has arisen as a result of the boom in birth rates and the rise in the number of pupils attending schools. Though the number of primary teachers has been steadily going up, it is not enough to deal with the increased number of children joining primary schools. Adding to this, there have been complaints of high workloads, increased targets, and insufficient remuneration, which have resulted in experienced teachers leaving the profession.
Sorry, we gotta look up what that word means. I don't know what that means. Remuneration. Remuneration. Money paid for work or a service. Dang! See, y'all cheaping them out just like we are. Yeah. No one wants to work for free. No one wants to work and do this hard work of dealing with your little kids for low wages. No one wants to do that. So I feel like teachers are very special, just like we all say nurses are very special. And though nurses have kind of found a route to make more money, the only way you can make more money as a teacher, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, is to get another degree. And to get another degree, a higher level degree, you know, master's, doctorate, PhD, whatever, that's more money you have to spend because you gotta pay school fees, at least in America. But still, some people don't want to freaking go to more school and do more schooling. So, yeah. If you're a teacher, let me know why you chose that profession, because aside from like liking people and children, there are no benefits that I can see.
According to a YouGov poll, 53% of teachers are considering leaving their jobs.
Damn.
11,000 young teachers actually leave during training, a figure that is 3 times more than it was 6 years ago. British newspaper The Guardian reported that ministers have failed to meet teacher recruitment targets for 5 years in a row.
Ministers? Like pastor? Like a British newspaper The Guardian reported that ministers had failed to meet teacher recruitment. Okay, so I guess a minister is not like a religious figure to y'all. A minister. Maybe like the principal or the superintendent, like the higher person for the school, I guess.
Teacher recruitment targets for 5 years in a row, leading to 10,000 fewer secondary school teachers being hired than intended.
Dang.
And that recruitment target for computing teachers had been missed by more than 1,000 over a 5-year period. A shortfall in physics teachers of almost 1,200, and the target for mathematics teachers has been missed by 1,850 recruits. The figures published...
Sorry to pause it again. Computing? Y'all are in computing? Like coding and IT? And you got physics, and this is all primary school, so like high school, middle school. Hey, we may have to stop with the British people are stupid jokes, because y'all are learning computing when you're 13. Boy, oh boy. Wow. And also, just a side note, a lot of these things and problems that he's talking about with the profession over in England kind of matches what's going on in the healthcare system or nursing in the United States. So it's just like, the people that we should be taking care of and nurturing the most are the ones we're letting down the most. It's wild.
50 recruits. The figures published by the Department for Education in 2016 also showed teacher vacancies up by 26% over the year, with 920 vacancies for full-time permanent teachers in state-funded schools, up from 730 the year before.
Man.
So how does this compare to the U.S. teacher talent pool? When we looked online,
Probably
it
still
seems
better than
many of the
ours.
same issues are apparent.
Yeah.
A 2017 Washington Post article referenced the study which published data stating that teacher education enrollment dropped by 35% from 691,000 to 451,000
That's a lot.
between 2009 and 2014, and that nearly 8% of the teaching workforce is leaving every year, many before retirement age.
Because nobody wants to deal with these badass kids for pennies. That's really the bottom line.
The reasons behind the shortages are similar to those in the United Kingdom. 1. Student enrollments are increasing and will continue to do so by 3 million to 53 million total in the next decade. This is driven by higher birth rates and immigration. 2. Teacher attrition is high, at 8% annually, with 2/3 of those that leave doing so before retirement age, and most because of dissatisfaction with the conditions of their employment. So,
I didn't even consider immigration being a huge factor for boosting the population or whatever.
So it seems there is a similar situation with the teacher shortage in both the UK and the US.
Yep.
So this is all interesting, but what about the day-to-day experience of those teachers who are working in schools? How do the jobs compare? We took a look at salaries, and using data from the
It's
OECD,
about to be
we
bad.
did some side-by-side comparisons. This is what we found out. For starting salaries, US teachers are paid up to $42,000, whereas in England it is up to $31,000.
Oh, dang. Y'all are doing them dirty. I thought we were about to be disgraced, but y'all, that's an embarrassment. But at the same time, you gotta knock off $5,000 from the $42,000 because again, they have to spend all this money on supplies and whatever for the classroom. But y'all start them at $30,000? You're wrong. That's wrong.
For teachers working in the industry beyond 15 years, US teachers are paid up to $45,000.
A measly $3,000 raise over 15 years? Let me do some math. That's... Hold on. What percentage is that per year? Let's see. It's 0.5. Not worth it. Not worth it at all. Over 15 years being dedicated to education, you give me $3,000 more? I'm quitting. I'm quitting immediately. Not leaving in 2 weeks. Resignation letter, and I'm gone. The heck?
And in England, it's $42,000. For top-of-the-scale
that's a big
teachers,
jump. That's a
US
big
teachers
jump.
are paid up to $46,000, whereas in England, it is still $42,000.
They didn't even crack 50K, man. Yeah, y'all definitely are not in it for the money. But, and again, the only way to even get to that six-figure is to get another certification or licensure. But even then, how much are, university professors making over in England? and in the United States. I don't know.
Looking at how the ages of these teachers compare, the average age of a school teacher in America is 43, whereas in England it is 39. In
So the
fact,
same.
teachers in England are the 5th youngest based on a survey of 5 million teachers in 34 countries. So US teachers do a little better on the salary front, but maybe there are some other drawbacks. What about working hours?
That's
Well,
crazy.
unfortunately
Can't
for
believe
those
that.
teachers in England, the lower pay doesn't equal lower hours. According to a study that was
What?
referenced in an article in the UK newspaper The Independent, teachers in England work longer hours than almost anywhere else in the world.
I'm shocked. Because again, y'all heard me in the intro. I thought y'all were going to be whooping our ass when it comes to like how we treat our teachers. But y'all are the ones low down and dirty. That's wild. So I thought y'all got like a bunch of time off, vacation time, what's that, pregnancy time off or whatever it's called. I don't remember. But yeah, no, they're working just as many hours for 1/3 of the pay. Whew. And after watching Educating Manchester, I'm not dealing with those kids for 30K.
The study found secondary school teachers work an average of 48.2 hours per week, with 1 in 5 working 60 hours or more. That's an extra 2.7 hours per week compared to teachers in America.
Go into nursing. If you're going to work that many hours, just become a travel nurse. Crisis contracts everywhere, and you'll be making bank. If you're going to work 60 hours a week, just be a travel nurse. Trust me. That's the goal.
Extra hours are spent on marking papers, lesson preparation, and filling out forms. So the pros of teaching certainly seem to be weighted to the US side, but an area we haven't explored is teaching materials and supplies.
And not to mention, I can already see the comments coming, talking about how our education system is trash because our teachers are sleeping on the job. The British teachers are out here working, blah, 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 blah. And maybe, I don't know, I don't really care about that.
UK schools are provided with supplies such as pens, paper, and learning resources.
Wow.
And though we did find some cases where the school budget had been exhausted and the teachers had to dip into their own pockets, these seem to be isolated.
Wow.
However, in the US,
That's
this
not-
is a
that's
highly
nice.
controversial area,
That's
and
not-
in many cases, teachers are being lumbered with large bills for supplies, which if they do not buy, the teaching activities may not happen.
Exactly.
According to a study by the National School Supply and Equipment Association, US teachers spend around $500 of their own money each year on supplies for their students. And in 2015, when the Huffington Post asked
Sad.
teachers to tweet how much they spent on their classrooms, many replied saying several $100s and some even several thousand, so this $500 average might be low. We all know the importance of good teachers, so let's look at what the data says in terms of student perspective. Statistics from an ING Foundation survey told us this. Roughly 88% of people say a teacher had a significant positive impact on their life.
Oh, absolutely. What the heck? All my English teachers, my freshman year of college, chemistry professor, teachers are amazing, and they really do influence children and adolescents, and they really do help you grow up. So it's kind of sad that we don't treat them fairly.
Around 98% of people say a teacher can change the course of a student's life, and though it can vary by grade level and number of years teaching, the average teacher affects more than 3,000 students during their career. There's a lot to say about our community of teachers on both sides of the ocean, and whichever country a teacher is based in, there are always benefits and drawbacks. So, are you a teacher who had...
Wait, that thing said, love them or hate them, children will always be exhausting. And it's true, and that's why people are quitting the profession. Because again, no one wants to work for 30 to 40K. 60 hours a week? I can't even, that's maybe like $10 an hour, and you just went to college, you went to university to get a degree, and that's all you're making? Not worth it to me. But if you're a teacher or if you know teachers, what are your opinions on the video? Comment down below. Like the video too. Bye!